Isn't it fascinating how the beliefs we hold, the very thoughts we entrain, they often behave like mirrors, reflecting not just the world, but also ourselves. For when you say, "This is true," doesn't it whisper, but is it true for you? Like ripple in a pond, the question reaches deeper into still waters. So imagine a person standing on the edge of their own truth, declaring, saying mean things means you're a mean person. And yet, doesn't such a statement carry its own weight? Isn't it just a little mean to say such a thing about someone else? Because isn't it true? A truly kind heart sees kindness in others, even when it's hidden, like gold beneath the soil. So one might wonder, could the speaker themselves apply that belief inwardly? From the moment you realize that, don't you begin to feel the truth unfolding? Or take the idea, if it's too fast, then it won't last. Isn't it curious how quickly such a conclusion is drawn? You might even say, perhaps too quickly. After all, if the belief itself is formed in haste, wouldn't that make it fleeting too? And maybe, just maybe, the lasting transformations, they're the ones that aren't rushed, but rather savoured. Just like the slow unfolding of a flower. Because, as you're realising this now, doesn't it become clear that deep change, it isn't just worth the effort. It's inevitable when it begins from within. Now think about the belief being late means you don't care about me. Have you ever considered that caring isn't measured by the ticking of a clock, but by the rhythm of the heart? For if someone truly didn't care, would they have simply not shown up at all? Isn't being there, even a little late, still a sign of presence? And maybe, just maybe, the person who feels uncared for simply forgot to care for themselves first. Because isn't it true, when you care deeply for yourself, it becomes easier to care less, even in the smallest of gestures. But here's an interesting one. Cancer causes death. A heavy belief, isn't it? Yet, haven't you noticed how the very fear of such a belief can spread, like the thing it describes? And perhaps, just perhaps, holding on to that belief too tightly could lead to a different kind of death, a closing off of hope, of possibility. Because when you start to loosen the grip on that belief, doesn't it create space for life, for healing, for something new to grow in its place? And how about this? Nuclear arms cause strength, protection and safety. That's a powerful thought, isn't it? But let's pause for a moment. Isn't it interesting how this belief itself might be as volatile as the arms of defence? Could the fallout of this belief, if mishandled, be just as devastating? And wouldn't true strength, true protection, come from disarming such thoughts, letting go of the explosive fear, and finding safety in something far more stable, like understanding, connection and trust? You see, the beauty of this pattern is, it reveals a truth that was always there, waiting to be seen. A belief, when applied to itself, folds in on itself, showing you that the edges that you thought were boundaries were in fact endless loops. And as you consider this idea now, doesn't it feel like something inside you has already begun to shift, subtly and powerfully? For the most profound changes, they're often the quietest, aren't they?